let's go ahead and go into our next segment because Dabo's gonna kick this off. Let's call this segment "Yes Sir" or "Nah." And basically, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. You either tell me yes sir or nah, and of course, pontificating, give me some good content. Let's start with the first question. I'm gonna go with you, Jada. First, will we see Dabo in the transfer portal next season?
by default. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
But I don't think it will be heavy. I think it will be okay. He'll get some throwaway people. It won't be as we've seen the Mike Norvells. We see these people who actually are trying to. Hey, we gonna go out there first day. We calling people. We contacting that guy. We're doing our research. We're finding the Jared Verses of the world. Where hey, we looking at South Carolina with Jaheim Bell. Obviously, I'm talking about Florida State, but like we're doing our research and we're actually making the effort to say, hey, even if we got this 4-star, 5-star who might be ready in a year or two, I got this guy who was at so and so school. I can get in now. I think he'll pull probably somebody we're not thinking about that's lower tier, but he won't be active in it because he's prideful.
Okay, I feel that. Dallas.
I think he'll be active and selective. And because here's the thing, I don't think he needs a ton. They got dudes, man.
Yeah, for sure.
They look at Tez Walker. How many games has he played for North Carolina this year? Just a handful, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he would be within a few yards of their leading receiver if he was on their team. So I think, they'll make a couple moves. Again, I agree that they won't take a 25 new roster players, but I think they'll make some critical key moves to try to get some explosiveness back on that roster.
I feel that. I'm gonna say nah because we've all said it. Dabo is very arrogant and prideful, and he's sticking to his way. All right, next question. Next question. I'm gonna start with you, Dallas. Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs. Before the season kicked off, we had our predictions. Dallas, I want to say you predicted two, two wins
Maybe
for
two, yeah.
two. Dave, our other panelist, I want to say he said 7 or 8. I said 5. And right now they're standing at 4 and 5. It's kind of looking like, unless they pull off this upset against Arizona, they may not win another game this season. So, but there are still games to be played. So, my yes sir or nah question for you, Dallas: will Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs go bowling this season?
I am going to say yes, but with 5 wins. I
Mm,
think I think there have been teams over the last few years get in with 5 wins, and I think that they will have no more than 5 wins. 5 wins is the best case scenario for them, probably moving forward. But it's too good a TV to not have them in a bowl game, and I think that they will end up in one.
the bowl sponsors are just like praying they get
Yes,
bowl eligible
yes,
because
yes,
everyone's going to be watching it. It's no matter what.
Mhm.
absolutely.
All the highest rating shows or games have been Colorado and Coach Prime. So let's go to Jada. Yes, sir, or nah, man.
I'm gonna say nah. It hurts me to say because I predicted 6, 7 wins. I was hopeful. Reality was like, oh, they'll get 5. I don't know if they're gonna get 5. Um, and so I'm gonna say nah. I think this will be good for them. We know Coach Prime. He's a man of his word. He's gonna get it. Like you said, you better get me now. Um, but it's good for his players to say, hey, you can't just roll in here and say, hey, I'm with Coach Prime. I got this. Like, nah,
Mm,
like you got to put in the work. They're small on the defensive and offensive lines. Um, we're seeing we see Shador can't even can't even have a second back there. I'm actually kind of worried about him health wise because he's getting
definitely.
hit a lot. But to answer the question, nah, like if they don't beat Arizona, I don't think they're gonna beat Washington State, and we know they ain't beating Utah. So
Yeah, I think their best shot at going bowling was last weekend with Oregon State. That was a team in the right position to, if you would have brought together a full effort, that's the team you should have stolen a game from. It is what it is. They gave a fight in the fourth quarter, man. So I don't know. So USC just made the decision that a lot of us were anticipating and letting go Alex Grinch after another display. It's been all year. Their defense has been
Multiple
god
years,
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
all the way back to Oklahoma.
This is a fact. It's been, but this season in particular, USC came in ready to rock and roll. They were claiming, hey, we're going to make the playoff. We have our returning Heisman Trophy winner. He's going to lead us to a national championship. He's going to lead us back to glory. And that defense said, nah,
Yeah.
we y'all 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 got to score points. Y'all got to score some points. So, my question to you, Jada, is Lincoln Riley gonna be Caleb Williams' head coach next season?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Um, if you asked me that at the beginning of the season, I was like, oh, he's gonna go to NFL. I think that loss hurt. We saw him boohooing. We saw him, a lot of people making this and that about, the crying and this and that. I think he's like he's hurt because he's like we had an opportunity. Like that was a culmination of 3 weeks. And like, what else can I do? So I think that's gonna fuel him to say, I need to come back and show that this is not who we are as a team. Caleb don't need to prove anything, but I think
Mm,
he's gonna want to show that hey, I can get one. We're better than this, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, sir.
okay. Dallas.
No, no.
Okay.
I think Caleb goes. I think he'll be the number one overall pick, and I don't think he turned down being the number one overall pick. Um, and risking the injury, I don't know what that offensive line is going to look like next year. I don't think they're going to fix that defense in 1 year. It's really, really bad. I think he goes pro. And if there's any thoughts on Lincoln going to the NFL to coach him, I think Kingsbury ruined that whole game for everybody.
This is a good
Uh,
point.
so I don't think anybody's going to repeat that mistake.
I feel that. I feel that. Okay. Next question. Starting with you, Dallas. Well, the Heisman Trophy. I was talking to a friend earlier today, and they asked me, "Hey, do you think Jalen Milroe is a legit Heisman candidate?" And I said, in this day and age, absolutely, because the Heisman Trophy has basically become who's the best quarterback on a high-ranking potential title winner. So if you're the quarterback of a team that's undefeated right now, I would say, hey, you got a shot at going to New York and winning the Heisman. We saw last year Stetson Bennett found his way into New York, even though I think everyone in this panel would probably like, I don't know about Stetson
Yeah.
being in New York, but he was a quarterback for an undefeated team that won the national championship. So he made his way into New York. So my question to you, starting off with you, Dallas, will this year we see a non-quarterback in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony?
For the ceremony, yes. I think Marvin Harrison's going. Yeah,
Okay.
he's got to go. I mean, so I think Marvin, I don't think he will win it, but I think he will be in New York for the ceremony.
Question is that depending on a win against Michigan, or you're saying
No,
he's
I
there?
think I think he gets 100 yards against Michigan or a touchdown or two, and I think he's there. Now, I think J.J. McCarthy's Heisman hopes hinge on that game
Okay.
very much.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Makes sense. Jada, what you got?
And Dallas make a very compelling argument because I understand I forgot all about Marvin Harrison because it is a QB award now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good point. But I'm gonna say nah. This ain't the year. You know who I would have put in that conversation had he been healthy all year and the numbers I thought he was gonna put up
My
is
guy?
yeah, Bowers.
Oh, for
Okay.
I
sure, for
I
sure.
Yeah.
really thought he was gonna
I
be
thought he
it.
was going to win it
I
for a
think he
while.
was a lock. I thought he
Yeah.
was a
Yeah,
lock to go to New York.
'Cause he had the
yeah,
highlight reel plays and everything. It was all set up for it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say nah. If you look at the montages and you look at they're just talking about, they not even considering anybody else. Shoot, a long shot, you got Jordan Travis, who I don't feel like should be in that conversation, but he would be there before Marvin Harrison, in my opinion. So
Okay.
that just based on it being a QB award now, Marvin Harrison has played exceptional, but he hasn't had the Larry Fitzgerald type season.
I feel that. I feel that. I'm gonna I'm gonna say yes, sir, because I do think Marvin's gonna be invited. Just
Okay.
because he's, I mean, they have to take advantage of this star receiver who's been doing his thing, plenty of highlight catches, plenty of great performances and wins. Like you gotta put the publicity behind him because it's not going to be Kyle McCord to
No,
represent Ohio State in that. So it's got to be Marvin. So I'm going to say
Exactly.
it's definitely him. I'm saying it.
I'm,
Exactly.
I'm saying
I'm, I,
Marvin's definitely there.
if they win that game, I think that I might change my tune. But if they lose, I don't think he has a chance.
If you haven't already, look us up on socials at Suplex Dinner Club. That's the home of 2 podcast projects that I work on. Mondays, Fridays, we talk college football on Dogs versus All Y'all. We don't just talk about Georgia football, we talk about all things college football, hence All Y'all. And on Wednesdays, you know the vibes, Life and Times Pod, which is short for the Life and Times of a Restaurant Lifer podcast, where I have conversations with some cool and interesting people that I've met through my years in the hospitality industry. Let me know down below, what team are you representing? The Suplex Dinner Club family is growing, and I want to know more about you guys.